Hello, everyone. Today is May 15th. Welcome to Fifth Dimensional Academy of Higher Consciousness. Zarathustra, broadcasting from Los Angeles live. So here we are, once again, together. It's nice to see everybody. And I see some new faces, so I like to welcome the new people. What I have in mind is we do some grounding meditation since I hear from different people that a number of different people recently have approached me and they've told me that for them this is a very strong time and we're going through a very strong period. But, you know, I understand, I hear it, and you know, but I also been hearing this for a long time. Different times I hear from different people that we're going through a very strong time. And I think in some ways it's very personal because, again, as I explained last week, that basically our entire understanding and view of life is merely personal. So if you, as the person going through very strong times, so that's what's going to be your reality, and that's how you're going to view everything else. And naturally, you're going to attract other people who are going to confirm that and share with you that they're going through a strong time, and this is a very strange period in life, and all kinds of things are happening, and so on and so on. So, but if your reality is it's completely peaceful and quiet within, and you're not really going through stuff, you're going through a period of your own life that you're in a lot of peace. You got inner peace, it's quiet. Either you have inner peace or things are going your way. And so everything is cool, you know? And so then you don't really feel it that it's a very strong time and there's hardship or there is strong transformational type of things are happening on the planet, because that's not your experience. So again, I'm not saying that, I'm not denying it. I'm not saying that this is a good thing, this is a bad thing, it does exist or it doesn't exist. I'm saying that it's very, very personal, and that's all. So, and it's good to be aware of that and not kind of project it that this is a worldwide thing and it's happening, because dramas and stuff are happening all the time, you know? There's always something's happening. There's always some kind of bad news you get from the media. There's always some kind of conflict happening somewhere in the world, or some kind of natural disaster, or some economical fall, or whatever. There's always something happening, always. Or something may have happened in your family, or you may have lost someone, or you're going through economical hardship. There's always something happening. So, and that's the nature of the world. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you. Just be aware that that's your personal experience. That's what's happening with you. And not to project it into the world, or not getting into this position of not taking responsibility for what is happening in your own life, and just really being focused on ourselves and realizing that that's my internal process, that's what's happening for me, and you just keep it at that point. So, having said that, why don't we do a grounding meditation, since there's the talk that there's a lot of stuff happening in the world and things are shaky. So why don't we get ourselves really grounded? And the grounding meditation we're going to be doing is we're going to be standing up, and as we're standing up, we're going to imagine from our root chakra, we have grown roots into the planet Earth. And those of you who've been with me before, you know, you've seen me doing this before. We've done it together, whether we've been in a workshop together or you've been on the academy. So, but I'm gonna explain it again for those of you who haven't been with me before. So just bear with me. I'm just gonna push this table up. All right, so why don't we just stand up? So, and what we're gonna do is you're gonna imagine that from your torso, you have grown roots, and your roots go all the way into the planet. So now you're just standing up, and you imagine that you're like this big, thick tree, and an old tree with a big trunk, and the roots go deep inside the planet. And so now you can't really be shaken. If there's any kind of storm or strong winds are happening, you are not shaken, you know. Only the top part of the tree will be moving, but not the trunk of it. The trunk of it is very solid, and it's very much rooted. So now we're going to breathe in, and as we're breathing in, you're pulling in the prana, the energy of the planet Earth, into your trunk of the tree, into your roots. From your roots, you pull it in, and it goes in a form of a spiral. It's spiraling through your chakras, and it's going through your crown chakra up in the space. So to get a feel for it, why don't we just use our hands? So, you know, you're kind of standing like this. So you breathe in, you bring it to here, and you breathe out, and it goes up. And then again, you come back, and you breathe in, and you breathe out. And one more time again, you come back, you breathe in, you breathe out. So why don't we do that? You breathe in and you breathe out. So let's do that again one more time. And then again, pull in the energy of the earth inside and breathe it out. So again, you're breathing it in and you're breathing it out. Now, as you're doing this, so I would like you to, so you already got in this rhythm of doing it. So you're kind of right now, you're going up and down, you know, very gently, and you don't need to use your hands anymore. And now imagine that the prana that you're pulling in is spiraling, and it's coming through your roots, and it's spiraling through all your chakras, and it's going up in the space. So you're going up and down, and you're breathing in and you're breathing out. You're sucking in the prana. So, and you're kind of like a generator. And this generator is generating. It's pulling the prana through your chakras. So let's do that. Close your eyes. Bring your attention on one point, and we're going to go up and down. And feel really connect your feet very well to the floor. And as you're going up and down and you're breathing in and out, just imagine that the energy is spiraling through your chakras, and it's coming from your root chakra and it's going all the way to the crown. And to make it more animated, you want to make this sound like it's a generator. But make sure you go up and down so you can feel that the energy is moving. Take a deep breath. So you have your eyes closed and you're connecting to your center. And now gently come back to your seat. And go back in your meditation. Close your eyes and come back to your center, your very center. slowly. Slowly, slowly come back. Slowly, slowly come back. Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
Rosalie made a comment about, can we take responsibility for our behavior?
Yes. Yeah. It's a good idea to take responsibility for your own behavior. And not blame it on anyone else. Yeah. I mean, normally we like to blame other people for the things that happen to us. So.
I unmuted her. She wants to talk. She's raising her hand.
Who?
I unmuted Rosalie. She wants to talk. She's raising her hand.
Yeah. Rosalie, you wanted to ask a question? She's not hearing.
I don't think you said it very loud.
Rosalie, you have a question?
No. Yes, I guess I get the answer. Because I mean.
Okay.
No, I said I hope to know that people take responsibility for what they're doing. Yeah.
Say that again.
And you see also that lawyers is most like and that people has to take the truth. If you lie, people look more up to you then, and if you are honest.
Okay, hold on a second. What? What did she say?
Why are certain people liars and they don't take responsibility for what they're doing?
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of people in the world. I mean, there's no why some people are liars or some people are good or bad. It's just the way it is. I mean, if we want to get into this why is life like this? Why is a child being born paralyzed or disabled, or why, you know, there's many different whys. It's just the way it is.
You talk about how to deal with people who do things that you think they should not be doing. And how.
Say that again.
How do you deal with people who are very upset that other people should not be doing certain things? And maybe that's a different way to be than that.
I don't understand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't get it. Hold on a second. Okay, Rosalie, try again. Let's see if I can hear you this time.
Yeah. I said when people lie, they are more popular than what people are honest. And are you honest?
I'm sorry, I can't understand because there's your voice is not coming out clearly, so I don't really understand what you're saying. You want to write it to me? Write your question.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
You talk about gratitude.
who?
Hilda asked, can you talk about gratitude?
Hilda Evenstad. Okay. Okay, Miss Evans.
Hi.
Hi, go ahead.
Can you talk a little bit about the gratitude, because it's so easy to forget about that, to be grateful.
It is very easy to forget about it. And yeah, of course, if I can talk about gratitude.
Your favorite.
See, the thing is, it's basically, it's another, this is a product of the mind. It's the thinking mind, basically, you know, losing our gratitude and going into this part in our heads that life becomes mundane, and we get stuck into this repetitious of things being repeated over and over again, and then the boredom comes, and then it's basically it's one of the functions of the mind of going into this place and complaining about everything, that this sucks and that sucks and this is horrible and that is horrible. And it's kind of like it's kind of related to what Rosalie was referring to a little bit earlier. In a way, it's related. And so what happens is then we want to blame things, blame life and existence for the fact that things are mundane and they're boring. And not being grateful for ordinary things in life, of everything that we have. Everything is happening right now in this moment. And missing the truth of this moment. And the truth of the moment is that it's very, very rich in this moment. And existence doesn't make any mistakes. There is no mistake. Everything is exactly where it needs to be. And things perfectly orchestrated, even though if they seem to be boring, even though that we may have a different expectation of how things should be. But that's basically a creation of the mind. The mind creates it. It's another thought going on in our heads. That I'm so bored and it's all the same and nothing good ever happens and life sucks and everybody lies and the world is being run by a bunch of crooked politicians and nothing ever goes in the right direction. Look at this, you know, we're going through a strong time. And look at these corporations are destroying the water, they're destroying the air, the planet Earth is suffering, animals are being tortured. So it's just the mind focusing on negativity and nitpicking on everything that is not right. And then in that process, what happens is that we lose our gratitude. And we take our focus away of all the good things that we have in our lives. We take our focus away from it. And normally what happens is that we don't, we're not grateful for what we have till we lose what we have. And once we lose it, and then again, the same mind comes back and now is going through a deep regret or a deep sorrow that, look what has happened, look that life sucks, and da 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 da, you know? Losing whatever good stuff we had. And we lose that. And now we're aware of it, of something very simple that we've lost. So it's basically the mind. And the key is to really be aware of it. Simply being aware of it. And a practice one really practice, one attitude that you can really have, or anybody, is that really starting to see ourselves, starting to imagining, for example. You can use this in your imagination. And just imagine, like, in a lot of places they use the word consciousness, that you are consciousness, your pure presence, your awareness. Or you can just use the sky. You're this blue sky, blue sky. And then that's who you are. You are this pure blue sky. Okay? Now, on this pure blue sky, there's an image travels on it. And you see this image, let's say you see this body, you see Zarathustra, or you see Hilde, you see your own body, you see a body that you call it me. And this thing is traveling through the blue sky. It's an image. Now you're imagining, you're here, sitting here, and you're just kind of identifying yourself to consciousness. You're identifying yourself to the blue sky. And in this blue sky, you see an image. It's the rise of a body, and then this one is going to live for a while, and then it's going to die. Now, you also can see, like, every thought you have, any feelings that you're experiencing, you're observing. Now, you can just look at it, like, whatever thought is rising for you, whatever emotion that you're experiencing, it's just like a bird flying into this blue sky. Something is flying through the blue sky. Now, you're the blue sky. So these thoughts, they just appear and they disappear. These feelings, they rise and they fall. But you're not the thoughts, you're not the feelings, you're just this pure blue sky. That's what you are. And this pure blue sky is not changing. It's always here. It's always been here. It doesn't have a duration. It hasn't been born, and it's not going to die. It's just simply here. without any lifespan. Okay, so can you all make that imagination? You know, raise your hand so I see you. Are you listening to me? Okay, so just make this imagination right now that now you go to this position of being pure blue sky or pure consciousness, and then your own, these thoughts that you're hearing in your head, they're just being observed, they're being noticed, they're being, you can see them as something traveling through you. A bird, a few birds traveling through you. You're the blue sky. So now kind of look at it that way. I want you to just take it easy for a minute. And just take that position. And just from there, you're seeing things do appear in you. Because you're the blue sky. And you can see lives of people, different bodies, different people, different objects. They are traveling through you. You have switched your position. You're no longer a person. You're not this person sitting there listening to me. You have switched your position. You're the sky, or your pure consciousness, simply noticing a person named Karen or Marit or Reza or Zarathustra, simply noticing a character has appeared as an image and is traveling through you, which is your vastness. And this character comes and then it goes. And the more you're able to do this, the more you're able to realize what I'm sharing with you, the less this character become important to you. The more you're able to see this character is an imagination, or it's imaginary, or it's an image. Maybe we use the word image. It's an image. This character that you're experiencing becomes an image. The thoughts, they're just becoming these objects traveling through the space. You are space, you're this space, and things traveling through you. You're not the things. Because up to now, you're identified with the object. Up to now, you're identified with the character that you believe that you grew up with. But right now, you're going to disengage from the character that you think you grew up with, and you're going to switch your position and become the empty space, become the sky, and this character is kind of has appeared in your field of vision. But this character cannot last very long, and it's got a lifespan, and it's just going to disappear. Disappear means it will die at one point. It has a duration. In space, it's traveling into space, and you're the space. You're not the character. So the more you really bring your attention to the space or the sky or consciousness, that you become that, the less you're identified with images and things and events of the world. Things that happen in the world. Things that happen in your life. Starting with your own thoughts. Starting with your emotions. Merely you're aware of a phenomena happening. Merely you're aware of something. And it's not a matter of good or bad. We're not talking about good or bad. Because that's completely, it's a different story. That's an agreement that we have made with each other as a culture, as a race, what is good, what is bad. That has nothing to do with the phenomena of life, because life really doesn't give a shit. It doesn't care, you know? Because we can see all of a sudden, I don't know, 50 people, you said, Shishi, died?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, right. So, yeah. Yeah, so I didn't know about this. I heard about this today. So life doesn't care. It's not like life is important for life. You have to understand this. If you want to evolve and you want to move on to the next phase, you have to go beyond good and bad. You don't have a choice, or you will be stuck where you're at. You have to raise your consciousness and expand yourself beyond the limitations of your mind. You have to go beyond good or bad, because life doesn't care. Life is good and bad. Life is birth and death. Life is murder. Life is beauty. You know, you have Michelangelo on one end, you got Jesus on the other end, and then you have Adolf Hitler, and you have the murderer and the rapist on the other way. They're all products of life. They're all happening in life. They're all being supported by life. They're all on this life support, you know? You know, when they take somebody to the hospital and they put them on a life support, same thing. They're all using the oxygen, the water, the food that this planet is providing for them. Now, one is bad, one is good, but they're all supported by the same force. The same living life is supporting both of them. So if one was bad and was unholy and unworthy, then why would life support it? Why would life support terrorists? Why would life support the Nazis? Why would life support the murderer or the rapist guy? Why would they be able to breathe the air? Why wouldn't life cut off the air supply to them and have them just immediately choke to death? Or people who treat animals badly, why are they able to breathe the air? Why doesn't life cut off their support line? You understand? Can you see that? That's because life doesn't care. Life is not here to be judging or going by morality. Life is supporting it because it's a part of the phenomena. It's within the phenomena of life. So you have to go beyond that, into the oneness, into expanding your consciousness to the understanding of the absolute, the infinite, God, the infinite. Infinity. Infinity means everything, not just one thing. Everything. Everything is within it. And everything is happening within it. All possibilities. So now, if you are capable of, number one is that coming to this understanding, you know? Because this understanding is a non-dual way of being. This is non-dualistic teachings. This is going into the source. This is going into the oneness. This is taking the position, switching your position from duality into the oneness. And what that means is that you start to recognize your true nature. You begin to realize who you really are. An understanding of our true nature. Of an understanding of this, the presence. You're here. And you're simply aware. And in this awareness, in this empty space that you are, in this presence, things start, things come, and things go. Your body appears, this body has appeared, and then this body is going to disappear. But you're not the body. So you don't need to worry about it, it's going to die. Because you're not it. You don't need to be afraid of death. Because there is no death. Because you weren't even born. You were never born. It's just as simple as that. There is no death. Or you may say, well, what is my purpose on this planet? Why was I born? Well, you were never born. You know, you were never born. You don't have a purpose on the planet because you didn't come here. The planet is appearing in you. It's traveling through you. It's an appearance. The planet, the nations, the people, all the stuff that you're experiencing and you're seeing, they're simply traveling through you. You've been here ever since the ever since. You're the pure blue sky. It's always here. It's not going anywhere. It didn't come from anywhere. It's simply here. Everything else is traveling through it. Everything else is traveling through you. You're not stationary. You're not going anywhere.
Zarathustra, Julie asked a great relevant question. It's the last question on the list.
Okay.
How do we act for the good of humanity if we merely accept both good and bad? Where do we draw the line when we no longer accept that a phenomenon is not okay? For example, the Me Too movement.
Okay. So did you hear this question, you guys? No? Okay. All right. Julie asked a great question. How do we act for the good of humanity if we merely accept both good and bad? Where do we draw the line of when we no longer accept that a phenomena is not okay? Like Me Too movement. So you act for the good of humanity as you are feeling what needs to be done. This understanding does not mean, see, this is, let me see how I can convey this and how I can explain it. Let me see. Julie, can I unmute you? I'm going to unmute you. Hi, Julie.
Hi.
Yeah, nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Where are you from? Where do you live?
I'm in Hawaii.
Oh, Hawaii. Okay, great.
My backyard.
In where?
Oh, this is my backyard.
Oh, what island?
I'm in Honolulu.
Honolulu. All right, good for you.
Thank you.
Well, nice to have you. Is this your first time joining us?
It's probably my third or fourth time.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I think this one is a good one. This is a juicy one today. So. Okay. Look, when this phenomena called birth, let's say you or me, right? We're born into, or for now, I just keep it very simple, okay? I just use it like I say you, but I'm going to explain it. So a phenomena has happened. Julie is born. And as you're born in this life, there is, you have your DNA. And in this DNA, your characters, the way you like things, you don't like certain things, you like certain smells, some colors, certain taste, temperature, and certain things already predetermined. They're already in our DNA. They're genetic. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. You know, if you don't like cold weather, you don't like cold weather. And or if you don't like hot food, you don't like pepper or cayenne pepper, you don't like it. You don't have to like it. There's nothing right or wrong about it. It's just the way it is, right? You agree with me?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And so, for example, if and then I'm born into this family and I grow up with these parents, this family. Now, I may So the family I grew up with is going to affect, it's going to condition me to be a certain kind of a person, because that's my first imprint. I'm growing up into this family, whatever the family is. If they're violent, if they're intellectuals, if they're religious, whatever it is, they're going to have an effect of the way I think and I perceive the world. If they're loving, they're caring, if they're humanitarian, whatever it is, if it's a military or it's it's an aggressive family, it's whatever that is, they're going to affect me. Now, the next thing is the country or the environment I grew up with, whatever it is. Let's say I grew up in a Muslim country, or I grew up in, I don't know, I grew up in Scandinavian country. I grew up somewhere that really believes in God or doesn't believe in God. So that's going to affect the person I am too. You agree so far?
I agree.
Okay. Now, so certain things, they're not in your control. You can't decide on them. They're already decided for us. So, and we're going to be affected by them, and they're going to kind of shape the way we're thinking and the way we're feeling and how we are for the rest of our lives. Now, then we start becoming conscious. This consciousness starts to happen, and these questions start to come. Who am I? Why am I here? What am I doing on this planet? And we start to notice that there is more than what we were taught. And slowly we start to realize that all these things they taught us about heaven and hell, it doesn't really exist. It's an imagination. And it's children's stories. So you start to kind of realize and expand your consciousness. And so what happens is, as you go deeper within into this journey of self-discovery, for some of us, if we're lucky, not everyone, it doesn't happen. This teaching does not come for a lot of spiritual seekers. This teaching comes for a very small percentage of small spiritual seekers, which is the non-dual teaching. Non-duality. But let's say you arrive, you get to this point. You're lucky enough that you get to it. So now you're inquiring and you're starting to go beyond the good and bad. And as you're going deeper within, you come to this space. You come to silence. You come to this place that you start to realize that you're here and you're simply aware. There's the awareness. I'm going to, there is the awareness, and the awareness is here. But the awareness is not being disturbed, and it cannot be touched by anything. No matter what happens in the world, no matter what happens in your life, the awareness doesn't get touched. It doesn't matter what happens in your life. You can never lose your awareness. You're always aware. The awareness is here. No matter what happens, no matter what you believe in, no matter what the cause is, no matter if you've been beat, you've been kicked around, you lost money, somebody stole, somebody betrayed you. It doesn't matter. The awareness is always here, is aware. And that's the key of the recognizing that you are the awareness. and you're not the person. It's the shift of the attention on the person, on the unit. From the shift on the unit is shifting, the attention goes to the background of the unit of the one which is simply aware. Now, okay, now back answering your question, Julie. Recognizing that you're pure awareness, that doesn't change your makeup. You're still, the unit is still the unit. If the unit is loving and caring and concerned, it's the way it is. It's gonna be loving, caring, and concerned. The understanding of the absolute, the realization, is not gonna change your makeup. You're not gonna, not all of a sudden, most probably, if you don't like cayenne pepper, you're still not gonna like cayenne pepper. If your body is sensitive to cold weather, you're still gonna continue not liking cold weather, even though you realize you are that. And if you are a caring person, you still care. You still care for humanity, even though you're no longer under the illusion. You lost that illusion and you realize the truth now, but within this game, you're still going to continue helping people if you can, but you're not identified with it. What happens is you're no longer identified with the story. So the story, if it doesn't go your way, you're a humanitarian, you're helping people, but if it doesn't go your way, it doesn't blow you away. Because you're not attached to the results anymore. You're free. You have freed yourself from the results. You still will help other people, but you're not attached to the results. Therefore, you can't suffer. Does this make any sense to you? Yeah, I'm gonna does it make any sense to you?
Yes, thank you. It really clarifies things for me.
Yeah.
It's going to take some time for me to process, but
yes.
Yeah,
feel free to ask me again. But yeah, if you're compassionate people, you're still compassionate. The understanding doesn't make you a robot, and you're not going to be like, you don't care about people suffering or dying. You still care, but you're not attached to any kind of results.
I think you telling me this already saved me a lot of heartache in the future.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Yeah. Question from Marianne Norman about her healing training.
Okay. Marianne Norman about healing training. Is that a question?
Yeah, it's a question.
Okay, we have it here in the chat box.
Yeah, it's a little higher up.
Higher up. Okay, let me find it. Okay. All right, so, okay, I have a good question. Marianne. All right, I have something I wonder about. I really get fantastic results with this healing method you taught me. Okay, Marianne's been in my healing training program. We've been together for a few years. So, okay, I have something I wonder about. I really get fantastic results with this healing method you taught me. It is like instant healing and people get amazed, and that is fantastic. However, at the moment, I'm unable to do healing on myself in the same way. my question is it possible? And if yes, how do I do that? Okay, so let me clarify. Hi, Marianne. Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you too.
Yeah. Okay. So let me explain. There is truly a difference between when we do healing on other people and when we do healing on ourselves and close people. When we're doing healings, like if you've noticed with your family or with your parents or your daughter or your son or people very close, boyfriend, girlfriend, there is something's different. I don't know if anyone has noticed that or not. Has anyone noticed it when you're trying to do, okay, healing on someone very close to you in comparison when you're doing to a healing on a stranger? Something is different. Now, the difference is, this is my discovery. That's my personal discovery. Now, someone else could just look at it differently. There is this seriousness is not there. There is this relationship of the healer and the client is not there anymore. Because you're working on someone that is, they haven't made an appointment to come and see you. They haven't paid you to come and see you. They're not looking at you as you're a physician, as you're a therapist, as you're a healer. They look at you as a friend. So that formality is not there. And I've experienced that in this relationship, that this formality is not there. The energy is different. There is like, it loses its stickiness. It's not sticking. It's kind of like something starts to lose its thing in that. And since this is quantum physics and this is the entire existence, it's all connected to each other and it's all a reflection of each other, the whole thing. When I'm working, for example, with my mother, for instance, I experience this with my mother, I experience it with my cousin, is that they're not taking it seriously. Versus somebody has traveled from another city, they come and see me, they're paying me, and they have gone through a lot, and they're looking at me, and they're taking it very seriously. And then the energy comes and the energy responding to it, and it's very serious and it's working. So that's been my experience. Okay? Now, that I just wanted to clarify that part of it. If somebody has a different idea or it's different understanding, feel free to share it with me. I would like to hear that from you. So now with now I don't know, let me also take responsibility, and I want to clarify this. I don't know if I'm not taking the appointment and the session too seriously, or my mother is not taking it seriously, or both of us are not taking it that seriously. I don't know. I have to take responsibility here too, because I can't just blame it on them. Okay? But something is not really sticking. So that's that. Now, when it comes to self-healing, is a different self-healing it takes a different kind of approach. You have to be patient, and the patience you're going to have in self-healing is different than when you're patient working on someone else. When you're working on somebody else, you know, depending on your relationship with them, is they're coming to see you, it's an appointment, it's an agreement, and you setting up this time for them, and you do your thing and you work on them, and there's like, let's say an hour or half an hour or 1.5 hours of a healing session. So you're dedicating that time on doing it. But when we're doing self-healing, and I've experienced it with myself, I'm not very patient. I want to do it quick. You know, I want to do a half-ass healing and be done with it and go after my business. You know, it's like not sitting here and doing 1 hour of being attentive, doing healing with myself. So there's that level of patience is not there. So you understand what I'm saying, Marianne?
Yes.
Right.
I just got this idea that maybe I should make an appointment for myself to to make it more serious. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it requires sticking to it, and it requires being really patient.
Yeah.
And that's been my experience with myself. I want to do a quick thing and be done with it.
Yeah.
So 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I want to do it, and I want to be healed, and I want it to be over.
Yeah.
And then I get impatient and I leave.
Mm.
But you don't do it with someone else.
No.
You just sit with them and you just go into the space and you do it. And I always find an excuse that I got to do this and I got to do that and blah, blah, blah. So I don't give it enough time. But I've experienced when I sit with it and I really deeply go into it, and I go through the motions and I don't rush it, I get results.
Mm.
So, and I think it's the same thing with someone who's very close to you.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. As I said,
I haven't been patient at all with myself. Just given me just a couple of minutes.
Exactly. It's the same thing, you know, with my mom. If I'm going to do a healing, she wants it quick. She doesn't have time. She doesn't want to be just stand up or do it the way I do it with everyone else. You know, she wants to lie down on her bed, and then she wants the TV to be on. You know, it's like, or the phone can ring what we're doing, because, so it's just, it throws me off, you know. I can't really bring it on the way I do it with other people. But when someone comes to me for an appointment, and it's a different story. I have certain ways of doing it, and that's how it is.
Yeah.
So that makes a big difference.
Mm. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. That was a good question, by the way. So it's nice to see you all. We've come, it's almost 11:30, so we've come to the end of our academy time. The next time, it's going to be next Tuesday, same time. We're going to try to be regular as much as we can. And I do have an event coming here in Los Angeles on June 23rd. And that's, where is it going to be, Shishi? Do you know where the event is going to be? Yeah, it's a location downtown Los Angeles. It's in a park, and it's a mass meditation day. And so I have a 2-hour event. I think it's a shamanic heart healing and third eye activation, I believe. I need to look at the event. So that's what I have. It's a free event.
Quantum Awakening and DNA Activation.
Okay, it's called Quantum Awakening and DNA Activation. I think you changed the name of the event on me, Shishi. Or did I choose that name? I changed it. Okay.
And it's 1245 North Spring Street, Los Angeles.
45 North Spring Street. So this is announced on my website, Zarathustra.tv, or on Facebook. We have a flyer. So this is a free event, and it's going to be a fun day. It's going to be outdoor, and there's going to be other teachers and other events. It's a fair, mini fair kind of a thing. So if you want to come and hang out during the day, or pitch a tent, or camp out, you're welcome to do that.
And at 2 p.m. is the global mass meditation.
At 2 p.m. is going to be a global mass meditation. So that's my next official event, and then I head back to Sweden, which we're going to have our 5th dimensional quantum healing training program, all 5 levels. So I added the last level, level 5, which is the mastery. And I will be teaching all 5 levels in Åre, Sweden, and there is still room to join in. And we haven't closed. We're sold out on single rooms, but we still have room for the doubles. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you, and those of you who can make it. My good friend Om Edu is coming. I talked to him last night, and he's going to be playing music for us, and he's also a wonderful therapist. And also our brother Evan Perman, he's supposed to be coming. And so we got sound vibrational healer, and we have a great DJ. So I really look forward to Åre. I'm very excited about it. And actually today I'm going to book my ticket for Sweden. So that's what's going on. And in the meantime, feel free to contact me. If you have any questions, you can email us or write on our page on Facebook, the Academy page, and reach out, and just feel free to communicate. Is there anything I missed, Miss Shishi? No? Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll talk about, well, we have Egypt. Egypt is going to be from September 23rd to October 6th. And I've gone through the itinerary of Egypt, and that's really amazing. But I will start talking about that more in detail soon. So I'll send you all a lot of love, and I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. God bless.